Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video I am going to discuss about what is a tuple, what are the different operations we can perform on tuples, what are the basic operations we can perform on tuples. First one, what is a tuple? So we know that a tuple is a sequential element in Python. What do you mean by sequential element? A sequential element means, a sequential type means which is going to hold the different elements at one place. So a tuple is nothing but which is used to store multiple items in a single variable, or we can also call it as a tuple in Python is used to store the sequence of various types of data. Or we have another definition, that is the most important definition: a Python tuple is an ordered and unchangeable collection of data objects. What is this? We are going to see in the next one. So this is one of the definition, and the most easiest one is a tuple in Python is a collection of heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous element means different elements of different data types under a single variable name. These are the different definitions for a tuple. Now, what are the characteristics of a tuple? Here we have seen that a Python tuple is an ordered, unchangeable collection. So these two are the most important properties or characteristics of tuple. So what is we called as ordered? Because whenever we say that anything is an ordered, then the elements will not change once it is defined. For example, if we say our elements as the 11, 35 and 23, so whenever you try to print that respective element respect to tuple, then all those elements are going to come in the same order. That's why they are called as the ordered. So tuple is an ordered sequence of items, which means the order will not be changed once it is defined. Next one. So in the previous slide we have seen that not changeable. That means a tuple cannot be changeable or immutable. Means we cannot change the elements of a tuple. We cannot add or we cannot remove items after the tuple has been created. Once a tuple has been created, we cannot add the elements, or we cannot change the elements, or we cannot remove the elements directly. That is the concept of cannot changeable. That is, tuples are unchangeable or immutable. A single tuple may contain elements of different data types. How these elements are going to be? All these elements are going to be enclosed in the parentheses, which are separated by the comma. Syntax of a tuple. So we said that all the elements are going to be kept inside the parentheses. That means these are the parentheses. Now all the elements are going to be separated by the comma. So 1, 3, 5. So then we can simply this one called as a tuple. Look it here. Tuple name equal to all the elements are separated by the comma. So some examples. So here all the elements are the string type. All the elements are of the integer type. Here string, string, integer, integer, integer. How can we find the length of a tuple? That is, how many elements are there in the tuple? So we can determine the length of the tuple as by using a function called len function. So this is the function which we are using for finding the length of the list also. The same way we can use the len function for tuples also. Simply length of tuple name. For example, if you have any tuple student names, then you can give that length of student names. So we are going to get that 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 as the answer, because how many elements are there? 4 elements. Now, first and foremost, in CRUD operations, CRUD means create, read or retrieve, update, delete. Now first one is the creating a tuple. How can we create a tuple? We have seen just now that a tuple is a collection of elements where all the elements are kept inside the parentheses and each and every element is separated by the comma. So this is the thing we have seen that. Now all these elements, whatever it might be the elements, so all these elements will be belonging to only one type? No. Tuple accepts multiple types of data into the single tuple. The elements in the tuple may be of any number of items and it might be of the any data type like integer, float, string, etc. Now let us look into the examples. First one, create an empty tuple with the name emp underscore tuple. How to create an empty tuple? So emp underscore tuple equal to, our tuple is the basic syntax is the parenthesis. Now print type of emp tuple. Now look at here. We got that output as the class tuple. This is the way we can create an empty tuple. Next, create a tuple with 6 subject marks of a student as student marks. Simple. So student marks equal to, tuple should be in the parentheses 66, 95, 82, 38, 77 and 55. There are 6 subject marks. So simply printing all those marks. Look at here, we got all the 6 subject marks here. Simple, 6 subject marks. Next, create a tuple which consists of student details like student name, roll number, age, gender, city, percentage as student data tuple. Simple. Student data equal to name of the student. I will take the name of the student as the LifeLiyo. Then after that, what is the roll number? Roll number is 125A 00A1. Yeah, it's my roll number. It might be any string. Age will be in the numerics, that is integer. Gender is male. Next one is city. City is India and percentage is 98.56. So if you try to print the student data, look at here, string, integer, string and float values. So like this we can create the number of elements into a tuple. Next one, create a tuple with the name, student details and it should consist of another list with marks in it. That means a tuple not only holds the strings or integers or characters or float values, it holds the another tuple as a member or another list as a member. Student details. So what I am going to do is, student name is the life, number is the 5A1 and age is the 28, gender is male. Now the another element is the list with the 6 subject marks 98, 56, 67, 28, 39, 88. Now if you try to print CRUD details, look at here, we got everything. So a tuple may consist of the another list or tuple as the element. Next, create a tuple with the fruit names. Simple thing. All the fruit names should be separated by the comma and each and every fruit should be kept inside the double quotes. Now, why we are telling this tuple with one element as a special topic? Because so many people will think that marks equal to 35. Now, if you try to print the type of marks, most of the people think that the marks is kept inside this parenthesis, so it is going to give the answer as the tuple. But if you observe the output now, you will be shocked. that is integer. Because if you take any single integer or if you take any float value into the single parenthesis without anything, then they are going to consider as their other type, such as respective data type of the value. Here 35.35 means float value, 35 means integer value. Now what will happen if we create that LifeLiyo? It is a string, right? So string type. Now how can we convert this one into a tuple with one element? So the simple thing is, after writing the element, simply keep a single comma, then it out. Yes, that is the tuple. So a tuple with only one item element, you have to add a comma after the item. Otherwise Python will not recognize it as a tuple. That's what we have seen. So ABC equal to 1. So if you check the type of ABC, you are going to get it as the integer. CFT equal to 1 comma. If you check the type of CFT, we are going to get it as a tuple. That is the difference. Now accessing. We have completed C in the CRUD operation. That is how to create a tuple with empty tuple, with multiple elements, or with the type of the different sequential type element in the tuple, everything. Now the next one is the read. Reading or accessing the tuple elements. In the first and foremost, we said that a tuple is a collection of elements which are ordered. That means once they are defined, they are not going to change. That means if we say any sequential item as ordered, simply what we can do is we can access the tuple elements by using the index or slice operator. The elements of the tuple can be accessed by using the index or slice operator. What is the index or the slice operator? None other than the square braces. So how does this indices of the tuple goes to? Tuple, the index elements are such as 25, 11, 56, 67. Total 4 elements are there in my tuple X. Now the indexes will start at the 0 and end at the length minus 1. Total length is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 minus 1, 3. So 1, 2. So these are the indices of the tuple. Now the first element of the tuple is the 0, second element at the first index, third element at the second index, and so on. We know that how to access the tuple element. Simply tuple name and the respective index number can be used for accessing. Now different ways to access tuple elements. So we are saying that a tuple may have the index number for each and every element. That means a tuple can be accessed in two ways. That is, the tuple elements can be accessed in two ways. What are those two ways? We have seen the different ways for accessing the elements of a list at that time in two ways. What are those two ways? That is positive index and by negative index. The same concept we are going to use for the tuples also. Positive list index, which is also called as the forward indexing. Negative list index, which is also called as the backward indexing. What is positive tuple index? So we use the index operator for accessing the element in the tuple. So that means the indices will start from the 0 and end at the length minus 1. Now how to access tuple name of positive index number? For example, I'm going to take this one, student details. Yes. Now if I want to access this life element, what is the index of this life? 0. So print of tuple name, print of tuple name of the index position of the respective element, 0. So run. Look at it, we got the life. So if we want to access this entire list, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we got the entire list as the output. So if you try to access the indexes other than the above set range, Now if you observe here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 element means the index will be started 0 and at the 4. Now if you try to access student details of 25, does 25th index is available in the tuple? No. What will happen if you try to access the index position which is not available in the tuple? Yes, index error. Tuple index out of range. Now, another one. If you try to access the 5.6, here indexes are will be having in the positive integer number. So you are passing the float value. If you try to run, it will say that type error. Tuple indices must be integers or slices only, but not the float. Let us assume that the student marks as a tuple 99, 68, 74, 38, 88, 45. 99 is okay. Total length is the 6 elements. Index starts at the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the positive index starts at the 0 and ends at the 5. Now indices of the respective elements. 0th index 99, first index 38, second index 74, then third 38, fourth 88, fifth 45. This is the way the forward indexing will be done. That is, from the starting element it is going to keep it as the 0th index and the ending element will be the length minus 1. Next, negative index. Negative index means the indexing will be given from the back side of the tuple. So from the if you have taken the tuple as 11 to 96. So we have seen that the elements positive index will be 0, 1, 2. But the negative index will be given from the last element to the first element, that is minus 1 to the, this will be the minus 1 to the length minus length of the tuple. So negative index starts at minus 1 and ends at the minus n, that is minus length of the tuple. If you want to access the elements using the negative index, you have to pass the tuple name of negative index number. Now again I will take this one. So this entire sublist is an single element. This will be the minus 1. This is minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Now if I want to access 28, what I have to do? Simply print off student details of, what is the index number of 28? Minus 1, entire one as the minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So minus 3. Run. Yes, we got the 28. So negative indexing will give the index from the last element to the first element. Now if you try to access the minus 50, do you have minus 50 in this one? No, because minus 1 to minus 5 is the indexes available. Now if you try to access minus 50th index, index error. If you try to access any negative float values, then it is going to give us the type error. So these are the two things we have to remember. We can't get the index other than the above said range. So whatever the elements we have, that much of index will be acceptable. Otherwise it is now giving as the index error. So the number should be the negative number in the tuple accessing. Otherwise it will give you the type error if you pass float or other types. So total elements 6 elements. The negative index starts at the minus 1, ends at the minus 6. First minus 1 index, that is 45 is the minus 6 index, 88 is minus 2, 38 is minus 3, 74 is minus 4, 68 is minus 5, 99 is minus 6. This is the backward indexing, which gives the indexing from the last element to the starting element. So let us consider this student mark. Print the 74 element 74 in the above tuple using positive and negative index. So student marks equal to 99, 68, 74, 38, 88, 45. Now we have to print the element 74 using positive as well as negative index. First positive, print of our tuple name marks, student marks. What is the positive index? 0, 1, 2. So we have to pass it 2 as the positive index. Then negative index is -1, -2, -3, -4. -4. We get here. We got the answer 74. 74 for the both the indexes. Positive index. So we are going to get the tuple name of 2. And negative index we are going to get the tuple name of -4. The same thing we have written. Stud marks of 2, stud marks of -4. Look at here, 2, -4. Now nested or multiple indexing. When this will be useful? Now let us take the student details again. Run. This is a list. Now list will consist of the again multiple elements. How can we access this multiple element type into the or particular tuple name? So to access the respect to 39 from this list, how can we do? We have to give the student tuple name, and what is the position of the sublist? That is index position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So fourth position, that is fourth element. From the fourth element, which element you want? 39. How can we go? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4. Now try to run. Yes, we got the 39. Here the first 4 is the outer element index position and next 4 is the inner element index position. So this is the nested indexing, accessing the element, that is the element of the another sublist inside the tuple or an element of the another tuple inside the tuple. That is the concept of nested or multiple indexing. A tuple can contain the any sort of element, even the another list or a tuple or any other thing. So they are known as the nested tuples. So we can access individual items in the nested tuple using multiple indexes. That is full name and then the respective position of the entire what we call list or tuple, then the element index number, that is outer index number, inner index number. We have seen just now student data. This is a string, integer string, another list. Now in the 0th index RAM is going to be stored, first index 20 is going to be stored, second in the height is going to be stored. In the third index another list is going to be created. So it is going to be stored again in the respective format which we have used for the indexing. Now if you want to access this 32, how can we go? Outer index is the 3 and the inner index is the 2. So 3 of 2 will give the answer as the 32. Now third subject marks 0, 1, 2. This is the third subject marks. How can we access? Student data of 0, 1, 2, position 3. So outer position is the 3 and the inner position is the 2. This is forward indexing. And negative indexing, this is the -1 position, -1, and then the negative indexing of 32 is the -2. So we are going to get both the things as the same answer. Look at here, 3 of 2, -1 of -2. This is the nested or multiple indexing. Next, slicing. So we know that a watermelon is there. We can't put entire watermelon in our mouth. What we are doing? We are making it as a slices and we are going to use them. Like the same thing, If a tuple is having 2 or 5 or 10 elements, it is fine to access directly. If a tuple is having the thousands of elements, then it is not at all good for ourselves or our programming application for accessing the entire elements at a time. Then what we can do? Then the concept is slicing. Slicing means accessing a part or range of the elements in a tuple. So instead of accessing the entire elements, accessing a particular piece or a range of the elements in a tuple. So how to access? By simply using an operator called slice operator, which is represented with the colon. Syntax: the tuple name, where to start, where to stop, and what is the step size. So by default we are going to look into each and everything, that is start, stop, and step size. Now start defines the starting index of the slicing, that is where you want to start your slicing. If you have 100 elements, you can start from the 15th element also. We can start from the 90th element also. That is start position. Stop position defines the ending position. That is, if you take the ending position as the 10, then it is going to take up to the stop minus 1. And step, that is for each and every incrementation, that is for after one element another element is going to access. That is, by default the step size is 1, but if you want to change it as a 2, so then you can use the step size as the 2. Some constraints: if you define start and stop, it is going to access from the respect to starting index number to the ending position minus 1. If you define only start, from the respect to starting index to the last index in the tuple. If you don't define the starting position, and if you define only stop, it is going to access from the 0th index to the stop minus 1. If you define start, stop, step, then from starting to the stop minus 1 as per your given step. If you don't define any starting and ending, if you define the step, it is going to access the 0th to the last index followed by the step size. Let us take the examples. I will take this example only. Marks equal to, so 99, 56, 88, 32, 57, 99, 8, okay, 52, oh, don't have that one, 75, 66, yeah, fine. Now print of marks. Now we can see all the elements have been printed. Now instead of printing all the elements, I want to access only 32 to the ending or 32 to 98. Then how can I write? Print of, what is our tuple name? Marks, and then square braces. What is the index position of 32? 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have to start at the third position. 4, 5, that is up to 92 we want. If you write as the 3:5, then it is going to take the range as the 3, 4 only, because the stop size minus 1 is going to be accepted. So if you want to get value up to 5th point index, then we have to take as the 6. It is 32, 57, 98. So this is the way we can access the slicing of a tuple. Now what I am going to do is, if I don't define the starting index, then what is it is going to take the starting? By default the starting index will be 0. So 0:6 means 0 to 5 indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at here, 99 to 98, we got that one. Next, print marks of 5:2. Here we have defined the start position, but we haven't defined the stop position. So position to ending of the tuple, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the expected answer is 98 onwards. 98 onwards to the 66. Yes, that's same. Now print of marks of I don't want to define the starting and ending position. I want to take the step size as 2. So what is the step initial value? 0. After 0, the step size is a 2. That means 1, 2. It prints in 88. After that 57, 52 and 66. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are going to be printed. 99, 88, 57, 52, 66. This is the way we can slice. That means we can take a part of the respective tuple. So these are all the examples. The same thing, negative index also we can use for accessing the elements. So you can print out print marks of -1 is to -6 is to -2. So what is -6 position? Okay, first of all I will print this one, take this one. So -6, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. It starts at the 32, then -5, -4, -3, -2 means -2, -1, that is -3 only. So it will print up to 52. Yes, 32, 57, 98, 52. This is the way we can print the elements using the negative indexing also in slicing. Next, manipulating the elements of a tuple. Here my question is, in the starting itself I said that a tuple is a collection of elements of different data types under a single variable name which is ordered and unchangeable. That means we cannot change the elements of a tuple. But what is this topic, manipulating the elements of a tuple? This is a small craziest thing for your interviews. That is, if you want to manipulate a tuple, we don't have any direct concept for the manipulation. But what we can do is, we can convert the tuple to a list. Then we can perform the operation what you want to do. Again convert the list into a tuple. That's it. A simple thing. Next, updating tuples. Tuples are unchangeable. Means you cannot change, add or remove items once the tuple is created. Then what we have to do? Simply cheat code. Converting it to the tuple into the list. Then again performing the operation. Then adding back, converting back to the tuple. That's the thing. Let us take an example. This is my tuple. Okay. The same element. So I am going to take into the marks. Now convert the tuple to the list. So m equal to marks equal to list of marks. Basically I have taken my marks in the tuple format, but I am typecasting it to the list. Look at here, my tuple has been converted into the list. Now what I have to do? I have to update the list. Simply I can add any element to my list. So what I am going to do is marks dot append of mmm. So okay, I will take it as the LifeLiyo, and if I print my marks, LifeLiyo has been appended, because append method is available in the our list properties. So for list we can append the any element. Now after completing the addition of the elements, what we can do? Simply marks equal to tuple of marks. Now if you print the marks, look at here, it has been converted to the tuple. So this is the cheat code, that is converting the tuple to the list, performing the operation, then again converting that list to the tuple. That is the concept of updating the elements. So we have completed See, creating a tuple, retrieving or accessing the elements of the tuple, how to update the tuple, and only thing is the delete. How to deleting tuple elements? We have said that a tuple is an immutable. That means we cannot add, update or change. Yes or no? Yes. It is a property. We cannot add or update or remove or change the elements of the tuple once it is created. Then how can we do? Simple thing. So this is my tuple. Then what I am going to do is, so marks equal to list of marks. Then marks dot pop print of marks. Look at here. When I use the pop method without any parameter, then the last element have been removed. Now it is in the list format. What I will do? Marks equal to tuple of marks. Print of marks. Run. Yes. Again it converted to the tuple. So what you can do? You can convert it into a list, in the list, and convert the list back into the tuple. But this is the example which you have seen now. Yeah, fine. But we can delete the entire tuple from the memory directly. So we can't delete the element from the tuple, but we can delete the tuple directly. How can we delete the tuple? To delete the tuple, we have a keyword called del keyword. So my marks is del space marks. Run. So done. Print of marks. Run. Name error. So del keyword is used to delete a tuple completely from the memory without remaining any traces. Then after that, if you try to access marks, it gives us that name marks is not defined because marks have been removed from the memory. So that is the syntax del space tuple name. With this, you can remove all the elements of a tuple, and after that the tuple to be empty and tuple will be deleted completely from the memory. If you try to access the tuple with the same name, it will rise name error. Name error. So this is deleting tuple. Deleting the entire tuple from the memory. Next, basic operations. From this, I will continue in my next lecture. So with this, I am going to end. So in this lecture, in this video, we have seen that what is a tuple, how to create a tuple, how to read the tuple values, how to update the tuple, how to delete the tuple elements as well as the tuple. So the remaining part will be I will complete in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel LifeLiyo. If you like my video, please give your comment. Thank you. Thank you everyone.